All right, here we are at the thing.
The
R.I.P.
thing.
R.I.P. Drew Struzan, master
Here's the thing.
poster maker.
Hey, here's the thing.
Well, what? You got to follow
Here's
that
the
up with something witty.
no.
Okay. All right. Hot start.
You've never seen that joke?
The whole reason we're doing this is because Drew Struzan, master poster maker, passed away. I figured I had to
Yes.
share my screen on this thing, so
Nice.
let's show a few posters.
Let's show the poster. I was telling Mary about the poster and stuff, and it is really just so cool.
Like Mary Magdalene.
Not quite.
A whore?
Yeah. Yeah, well, not quite. Not quite.
That's biblically accurate.
Biblically accurate. Yeah. Well, without further ado, here comes the thing photo. Oh,
I like it.
Bam!
Boom!
it's so cool.
Check it out. Look at that. Let's hear it, Jordan.
It is. It is so cool. I mean, like, like I don't have anything like extra to add about it. It
It's provocative. It gets the people,
gets the people going.
What? Why is the light coming out of his head? I actually don't remember that.
There's no reason.
Is there a reason? I'm sure there's somebody has come up with a reason.
I bet you could figure it out. And it's probably like because it doesn't have a face. It can be anyone. But I bet the guy just thought it looked.
There's
So-
definitely some sort of like parallel.
No, I just was gonna say. I saw this side by side. I watched a bunch of movies in prep for this. I watched all three of the things. So I watched the 2011 remake first. Then I
Yeah.
went back and watched the 1951, and then I watched this one. This
Alan.
one on the right is the.
Yo.
Welcome, Alan. Can you see our screen, Alan?
Yep, I'm good.
His face is super tiny right now, so I can't see him
There you go.
on my phone.
Oh,
How did he get in my phone?
I've seen Jory in past episodes. Oh no.
the whole reason we're doing this is because Alan's Instagram story. He had like 6 Instagram stories up for Drew Struzan when he passed away. And I was like, holy shit, let me look into this guy. What we were just looking at the poster, Alan, and the 2011 one. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So yeah, Drew Struzan unfortunately passed away recently. Very famous, like iconic posters. Everything from Star Wars posters to The Thing to the Indiana Jones, the Goonies. I actually had the Goonies poster hanging up in my apartment when I was living in Tennessee. So yeah, it was like really close to home when I saw it. I was like, damn, it's gone. And obviously like the Star Wars ones are like everywhere. Yeah, Big Trouble in China. It's pretty
This is another
interesting,
one
I
I
think,
watched in
actually for
preparation for
the
this.
yeah,
Keep
it's
going.
great. It's a pretty interesting for the Thing poster. I think it's kind of weird because it doesn't really encapsulate the movie. Like it encapsulates the idea of the movie, but like it's still kind of weird. It's like a really like
Yeah.
an artist's interpretation of the movie. Versus like the other ones were a little bit more stylistic, and like just like straight headshots for a lot of his other ones. So it kind of sticks out in his discography, the collection of posters, but really iconic though. I think it's still a beautiful poster in general.
Do you know why he chose to do it differently or anything like that?
I remember just
Okay.
seeing it and just being like, yeah, so super different.
Would you say that it's provocative?
I mean, I think this gets the people going.
There we go.
There we go.
He gets it.
Exactly where he was going with that. Sam is pouring up a tall liquor drink. It is.
I
Sir,
get some
it is-
water.
sir, it is
Jesus
9:20
Christ,
in the
dude.
morning where you are. It is 9:20 a.m.
Hey! I was trying to be considerate. You said no labels.
Wild.
So I went and poured this smart water into it.
Yeah.
My Batman cup.
Not a
This counts as no
double,
labels,
but
right? Look at that.
Alan, we've had some trouble with people eating on camera and also showing
Nice.
certain companies' logos.
Is this
Right,
okay?
like
Is this non-logo-y enough? I mean, it's technically all logos, but
I actually
it's
cannot
kinda-
see it, but
it's
There we go.
no, I can't see it either.
It's blurry. Is that
Right.
a rat?
Alan,
It's
blur-
like
yeah.
it's like a holographic Batman. Anyway, let's keep going.
first note, we're fucking out here in Antarctica. I thought it was interesting that the original one, they were at the North Pole in 1951, but for this one, they put them in Antarctica, which I think's better. But
Yeah.
nothing to do but get drunk and play computer chess for Kurt Russell.
Computer
to
chess,
start it
yeah.
off.
Yeah.
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 And then he gets so pissed
Yeah.
that he
Yeah.
pours his pours his liquor into the machine, and we get a fiery explosion. You ever seen that, Jory? From some hardware malfunction?
No, I mean I know that you pour a little water down the back of it and fuck it up, but no, I haven't done it myself.
Huh. I wonder if this could be foreshadowing.
There you go.
I wonder.
Small little cameo. The voice of the chess wizard. It was Adrienne Barbeau, which was John Carpenter's wife at the time. So a little cameo
The
from her
chess
in
wizard.
there.
Oh, that is kind of cool.
Would that be a
Yeah. That's like
wizard dress or witch?
Wiz dress.
Witch.
The witch. Yeah, the
Witch.
witch. But yeah, that's the only like technically female actor in the whole movie because the rest of the cast is all male.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of interesting.
I didn't realize that.
Did they check on the dog?
It's just a dude movie.
True.
Well, that's interesting.
They
because,
check on the dog.
Yeah,
Is that
they
what you just
check on
said?
the dog.
Yeah.
That's interesting because in the other two movies, even in the 1951 movie, there's a female that's a big part of the plot, and in the 2011, the paleontologist is a female.
Yep.
But yeah, pretty great.
I was being serious about that foreshadowing. Okay. The way I look at it is that's exactly how he ends up winning in the end. He's trying to beat this unbeatable, thing, this machine. Oh, I use the word, the thing. And he can't beat it at its own game. So once he can't win the board game, he flips the whole fucking board. And then you see a big fiery explosion. How's he win in the end? He can't beat this thing. It's impossible to beat. So he's like, you know what? I'm just going to blow up the whole fucking base. Boom. It's the same beat for beat kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Pretty crazy opening. Why are they trying to kill that dog?
That's exactly what
here?
I told you. Mary had not seen this. She didn't have the context for it. And she's like, are they shooting at the dog? And if you don't have the context for it, it's kind of unclear whether or not this dog is their target at first.
Look how cute that
like
dog
at the very first thing. That's exactly what I thought. And that's definitely a girl. It's definitely a girl dog. This is a female in the movie. It is confusing, right? They're speaking Norwegian, and your American audience, right, has no idea what they're meant to not understand, like what's happening, right? That's the initial mystery of why are they hunting down this dog in a helicopter? Pretty serious kind of move to go hunt down something in a helicopter is kind of as trivial as a dog is in Antarctica. Just kind of just lays the whole stage out.
One thing I wanted to ask too. Yeah, one thing I wanted to ask, Singleton's intrigue at the very beginning. But one thing I saw when I was looking online too is that the very, very beginning of the title card and then the shot and the spaceship going into space, right? I don't know if that needed to be included. It could have just opened up with the Norwegians shooting this dog. I think it's kind of interesting that we know this is coming from outer space. It still gives enough intrigue because we don't know where it is, what's its motive, anything like that. And I think it's the shot of the spaceship in general and the title card is really cool too.
Go for it, Sam. You got the spaceship shirt.
Yeah, look at this, Alan. You like that?
Nice.
Hey yo.
But yeah, you know what? I have seen that same sentiment where people have been like, I don't think we need to see the spaceship at the beginning. And I get it because you already get the spaceship scene later on whenever they investigate. And I feel it's better to have no buildup and just kind of be slapped in the face with it and be like, oh my God, it's a fucking spaceship. Then to be like,
came from outer space.
That is what I wanted to also piggyback off the what's the name? What's the title of the first thing? It's based off the novella.
It's the thing from outer. The thing.
Yeah,
from outer space. No.
Homage.
Right.
Those are the exact words you used, Alan. You said from outer space. So I'm like,
yeah.
I think, what do we see? The title card that says the thing, and then the next thing we see right after that is the spaceship coming from outer space. So I feel like it is kind of paying homage to the original title.
Yeah. And that title too is the exact same from the 1951 one. Like,
yeah.
It's the same exact one.
Except in that one, he's a big old Frankenstein monster.
Yeah.
So, Alan thought the guy was speaking Norwegian. I definitely thought they were speaking Russian.
Hey, this movie would have been a lot fucking shorter if any of them spoke that language.
Yeah.
I rewatched this on just some random website, and the way that the subtitles and it has auto translate for the subtitles. Mm-hmm. Like the guy's like yelling at him. He's like, "It's not a dog. It's not a dog. Please listen to me." And they're all just like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Shooting at a dog. He's like, "Please, it's not a dog."
My whole thing was he made no attempt to not look like he was going to shoot them. He put the gun down
Yeah.
and look less threatening. And also the other guy gets out of the helicopter, fumbles a grenade away, decides to jump on top of it, blows himself up. But why
And
was
the
that guy
helicopter.
picking up a grenade at first? What was he going to do with that grenade? If he throws it at the dog, like he's going to kill all of the all of the people there.
He
Yeah.
probably was.
Yeah,
Like,
he probably
as soon as the
was.
dog as soon as the dog got near him, he was probably like, "All right, got to take them out."
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I mean, you think about where, well, like to jump all the way to the end of the movie, right? That's where they ultimately get to. They're like, fuck ourselves. This
Yeah.
thing gets out. This is the end of everything.
Yeah.
You can get into the heads. It's the opening scene of the movie. We haven't had the whole build up, but for them, the movie is already over. The panic meter has been set off. It's not a dog shooting at it, freaking out, grenade, kind of fumbling around. Like, it all tracks for people that are panicking, right? That are terrified of this thing.
It's interesting
This
because
thing. But
watching all three of these, you like 3 times you go through the realization that okay, this alien thing is happening, but the third time through I'm like, come on, like stop splitting up, stop going anywhere without each other. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also watched
Yeah.
I watched The Fly and a couple other like 1980s the Body Snatchers movies like this. So
Yeah.
big alien weekend for me.
Yeah. Nice.
I was gonna say, that's always a good example because people complain about remakes in general and retellings, and people always hold the Thing, 1982 Thing, as a good remake of it. It's far superior than the other ones, like what it builds
Yeah.
on and what it's more original to the story. And people bring up The Fly as well as another example because The Fly is a remake. Every couple of decades, the 80s always inspired by like 50 stories. Example being like Back to the Future is really inspired by Serial Zen or even Indiana Jones. It'd be inspired. A lot of those filmmakers are always inspired by like, hey, I'm 20, 30 years old and this is what I watched when I was a kid. And, now I want to remake it and make something better.
I wish someone had told me when I was growing up that I get to just rip off stuff once I turned 30. I would have been like, man, I probably can create a good story. Let's go to film
Just have to
school.
wait.
Yeah.
Have to wait a certain amount of time.
That's all.
Yeah,
I mean, George Lucas. That's
I
all.
took a trip and I was really
yeah.
inspired by the story. I did not just copy this whole plot.
I see that we keep saying remakes, and like for the 1980s one, that is a straight up remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. But I don't think it's fair to call the one in 2011. I don't think that one's a sequel. It's just taking place over at the Norwegian camp. That movie ends where this one begins. Whenever we have that scene later on in this movie where they go and investigate the Norwegian camp and we see like some of the bodies, like a lot of those frozen bodies are from the 2011 film. That one dude who kind of like separates and he's got half a face or something. You see that before he gets burned or whatever. You see him frozen over at the Norwegian camp.
I actually wish I knew this, but it was a prequel. When I was watching it, I wish I knew this. Well, you said
like
sequel.
that movie. You know what I'm getting at.
Prequel, whatever. Yeah.
When you say the opposite word, I actually do not know that.
Well,
but damn, I wish I had known that watching it because I watched that one first and I would have paid attention for stuff like that. Damn.
Yeah.
I watched that one first.
Where this one begins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to save it for. I had already seen the 1982 one, probably when we were living together, Alan, but I haven't watched it since then. So I watched all the other ones and then I watched this last night. So now Kurt Russell is going to investigate the Norwegian camp. And I just wrote, man, this camp's fucked up. Like, what the fuck happened here? I feel like he was pretty slow to getting alarmed. If I had walked into that, I would have been freaking out.
Yeah.
He's drunk.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Kurt Russell classic. He's playing the cool, calm, collected, like, I don't know if he's retired military, but military kind of like, I think I remember Air Force.
Which would make him a Vietnam vet, right? Based on the time frame.
Which tracks, looking at the hair and everything. He's clearly the cool, calm, collected leader here throughout the whole movie. He's the guy that's in charge. There's no freaking out that's allowed from Kurt Russell. Some freaking out happens later.
He's got the biggest hat. You have to listen to
the biggest hat.
Yeah, what is with that half?
One thing that's
He's like, I'm in charge here.
Yeah, have you heard the
Clearly, look at my hat.
Doug Dimmadome.
Yeah, the background on the hat. What kills me about the hat is I think he's technically wearing it like sideways, because the front of the brim is this way, and every time I see it, and it's really funny. And behind the scenes, he's talked about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I just showed up, and the costume designer was like, yeah, that's your hat." And he was like, "I'm not wearing that fucking stupid hat." And then it kind of grew on me, and then I really appreciate it, and I think it's cool. It kind of
Yeah.
distinguishes him a little bit. One thing I kind of saw a little bit more. I've seen this plenty of times. I actually saw it one time in theaters, re-release. I think it was like the 35th anniversary years ago. One thing that kind of stood out to me this time was out of all the people in the group, I think McCready does take it the most seriously immediately. And I think that's funny because I actually never looked up too much about the script until this time. And I think his name is literally deliberate because it's spelled out. I thought it was always like MCREED, but it's literally MACREADY. So he's always ready. I don't know. When I read that, I was like, oh,
Mac ready.
but
Mac
yeah,
ready.
but he's the one that like
look at
takes
that
it
hat. Of course
immediately
he's ready. Look
seriously.
at that hat.
Yeah, that hat's awesome.
Dude, we're like inches from a sombrero at this point.
Who's in charge here? Clearly this man.
Yeah. Also,
If I saw that guy, I'd be like, he's in charge.
The most amazing beard in cinema, amazing hair, peak 80s. And the other thing I noticed too, I didn't notice in past viewings, but this time, when the Norwegian guy accidentally shoots one of the other, I think it's one of the doctors. He gets shot in the leg, and McCready walks up to him. He's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah." And McCready walks away, and he hands him the bottle of J&B, and immediately the guy takes a swig, like 5 seconds after being shot. I think that's a really funny detail.
Yeah, gotta numb the pain. They don't got Tylenol.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
This picture made me think of something later though. They're like examining one of the bodies, and these white gloves, like the guy's just like ripping open an alien body, and he's just got on little latex gloves. He's got nothing else protecting him from this thing.
Yeah.
He's not wearing like any facial covering. His juice is just flying around. That is horrible.
Yeah.
Speaking of gloves and things, I saw something, and I don't know if you guys seen it too, but Childs, the actor who plays Childs,
Yeah.
I saw that he like broke his hand,
Yeah,
the like week before filming, and so he like wears gloves to hide it.
Yeah, there's one scene. It happens a little bit later. It's when Wilford Brimley's like basically crazy. He's the doctor with the glasses. He's going crazy.
Diabetes
and everything. Yeah, diabetes film. In that scene, it's like really, really obvious. The guy who plays Childs is Keith David, and he actually is wearing a cast on his right hand. And throughout that scene, if you go back and look at it, he's like constantly hiding it, like away from the camera. Like he's in the hallway and he's like hiding it like this, and he cuts really quickly. But there's one part of that where it's really, really obvious he has a cast, and they actually just painted it like black, like his skin color, and you see it for like half a second. They tried their best to hide it, but if you zoom in, you can see it.
You know, you're talking about Sergeant Foley?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You know, you're talking about President Foley?
There we go.
Oh,
yeah.
And then
it's Rick and Morty, you fucking dunce.
He's also super comic book legend. Who is he, Sam?
Hey, I got something better than that.
Who is it?
Spawn.
Yep, there you go.
Hey, he's also Requiem for a Dream, ass to ass.
Oh, you're right.
Is he really?
Damn.
Yeah, he's the drug dealer in Requiem for a Dream.
I got to pull that up,
movie.
and I got to pull up one more.
Dude, you know that as soon as what's the guy? I bet whenever James Earl Jones died, Keith David was like, "Oh,
yeah,
I'm about to
Money's
get so many
rolling.
voice acting roles."
Yeah. Keith David's awesome. I mean, he's awesome in this movie too. Specifically, he's almost like they're the last two that survive at the end, but he's almost kind of secondary protagonist in this. He also takes charge and kind of butts head against McCready many times throughout the film, so I think it's pretty interesting. He kind of He's a strong personality throughout the whole thing, but he's also hard not to root for because he's Keith David.
I'm trying to find a picture of him in full regalia from Barbershop, but it's not. None of these pictures are really capturing. He plays this pimp in Barbershop, and he's got on a purple hat and purple suit all the time with a huge overcoat. But none of these are really doing it justice.
I realized I got my joke wrong. I should have said Michael Clark Duncan. That's what I meant to say.
I was wondering what you were
messing
talking
up
about.
your large, deep voice black men.
Yeah, I'm messing them up.
Yeah.
Whoa, nobody said that.
I wrote down, man, this camp's fucked up. But then, let me get this. Look at that. Look at that tomb of ice.
Yeah.
With fucking holes in the wall. Like, what? You walk into this room, what are you thinking?
This was the epicenter. Whatever happened here happened because of whatever was in this block of ice.
Okay, well, thanks for that literal interpretation.
He's thinking.
Nah,
I
agree.
I think I don't know when I see it, I think maybe the metaphor or interpretation you could probably take with it. It almost looks like a casket or something with death or rebirth. It feels like something came out of that. Obviously, the Norwegians find the spaceship, they use thermite to blow it up, and then they take out whatever's there, and you see the block of ice that they cut out to bring back to the camp. But visually, I think that's what it looks like to me, as a coffin or
well,
tabernacle or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, it looks like they cut open ice, Jordan.
JP, what have you done with my friend Jory, and how are you wearing his skin? What are you about to say, Sam?
Okay. What I like about this is it clearly tells a lot without much.
Yeah.
We see that spaceship fall down at the beginning, but then we see this, and it's like, how long ago did that spaceship fall down? Was it 10 years ago? Was it 1,000,000 years ago? Was it billions of years ago? How old is the thing? It raises so many questions, because what this imagery invokes is the same kind of imagery as raiding a tomb in the pyramids or something, where you slide it off and you got this old ass creature. Kind of adds some eldritch horror to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And as you're asking how long it
asked,
was later when they go to the site, the guy just walks up and he's like, "This is at least 100,000 years old." Just takes him 10 seconds. He's like, "This is 100,000 years old. Look at this ice."
Okay.
But even then, that's still a guess that he has. He was like, "How long has it been in the ice?" And he was like, hundreds of thousands of years. I love just going back to the Norwegian campsite. Just the interior of all of that looks awesome. They had their little kind of setups. I mean, it's a fucked up place. You see how broken everything is. I love when they first go through the door. There's an axe literally hanging through that door. Obviously, the guy with his wrist split open that are frozen blood dripping down. There's a lot of really cool little pieces throughout the whole thing. And then again, like you guys pointed out, it's all done just visually, which is really interesting. And that's what kind of sucks. I don't hate the 2011 prequel, but it's so much more interesting for you to watch that scene and think about oh my gosh, how did this all go down? Who killed who? Why did that guy split his wrist at the end? Was he the thing, or he thought he was? I don't know. There's a lot more mystery to just thinking about it rather than it being shown to us later.
Yeah, and then I guess they're burying. The guy looks for a shovel. I guess. Do you care if your alien body's buried in the Antarctica ice story? They take back all of the tapes and shit from the camp back to their camp to study, and they show the dog watching them land out the window. I thought that was really cool little addition.
Yeah, that's a nice shout out. That is probably the best animal acting in any movie I've ever seen. The dog is amazing. In the kennel scene, which is the most famous part of it for the dog. So even at the beginning when he's running through the snow, you something's off about that dog from the get go. And there's so many shots of him just it's literally staring out the window, and it's I believe that something is up with this dog immediately.
Then they get inside, and the body, this is interesting, the body smells or whatever, but it's steaming. I'm pretty sure they brought this body back from the other camp, and it's fucking steaming hot. And that was freaking me out. It's been laying out there in the ice, but it's still steaming hot.
Yeah.
Almost
Just
it's thawing out.
Yeah.
Still alive, kind of. I mean, this nothing could survive out there, but this thing here is showing signs of life. It's creepy. It's
And
unsettling.
There's obviously a lot of creature effects. It's Rob Bottin who did all of the main creature effects for this. Insane too. He was 23 when he did that. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
how
every
the
time
fuck-
somebody
how the fuck did
fucking
he-
says that on here, I just feel so terrible about myself. It makes me want to die.
yeah. It's
I mean,
it's
look at
awesome.
this.
If you ever look up like behind the scenes, obviously pictures of him like making all the creature effects and stuff, it's insane. He also had like a very miserable time doing this. Like he eventually got hospitalized because he was overworking himself so much. He had an ulcer at one point when it's like steaming off of. I really appreciate it. It still looks very rubbery, but one thing I like, it's like static. Well, there's always tactile stuff to it. So there's stuff dripping off of it, or
Yeah,
the obviously like the steam coming off of it. It makes it feel like more real, even though we know like it's a puppet. Yeah, it's a cool way to like add
I'll be
motion to it. That for a stationary.
I'll be interested to know what our Scream King Jory thinks about this after this take. But I think the monsters in the 80s are better than the monsters that we have now. They might be more realistic now, but the rubbery stuff you're describing, that feels alien to me. These monsters are sick in this movie. And just like, even when I was watching The Fly, the way they had to create it in the 80s, like, I honestly like the aesthetic a lot more.
Yeah, I mean they're super grotesque. I personally, for me, I'm not a huge fan of body horror, but I think what makes it so unsettling, especially here in The Thing, is that it's always in the middle of transforming. So there's parts that are people and parts that aren't. And it makes for this really gross kind of human, but not human, that is unsettling in the same way that when you see an insect that just has too many legs, you're like, that's gross. I don't like it. Yeah, just like this. It's I think that there's like they really do prey on the like natural fears of humans, just seeing something that is so unsettling. Like that is a really good shot. I really do like all the effects that in the 80s had limited. And to your point, Jordan, I will say that they did a better job, but they did at least as good a job as they do today with less, which is really impressive.
Yes, they let this fucking dog just walk around
Hey,
the
wait,
camp.
whoa! Before
ahead.
we skip over the effects, got some heartbreaking news
Jordan
for
2
you.
has some things.
Yeah, Jordan
Let's
number
hear
2. The 2011 film. Now, if you go behind the scenes, you might want to share your screen at some point, and you can look it up. But that was entirely practical. They did all the same old school effects like they did for the original 80s one. And some dumbass executive was like, people don't like that. People don't want that. CGI over it.
Yeah.
So they just CGI'd over all
Son
of
of
the
a
effects.
bitch. Who
But
is that
if you-
executive? I'm gonna send him a tweet.
But if you look at the behind the scenes, all of them are like it looks so much better. I'm like, yeah, this movie would have been way cooler.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's what sucks about watching that movie is that again, I don't need a prequel, but if you're going to do it, make it really interesting. And yeah, it seems like that could have been there, but unfortunately it wasn't. So, yeah.
So the guy's going through this monster and he's like, we've got some abnormal organs here. I'm like, bitch, why don't you say something about the abnormal face? There's 2 faces on this fucking monster.
That's some abnormal.
Yeah, I do love Wilford Brimley's character though. I think for like every time I watch him, he seems like you can tell he's really, really thinking through everything, and there's so much more behind what he's thinking versus what he's saying. He's doing the autopsy, he's taking out all the stuff, and Jordan, I agree. Like he's like, yeah, they're all the organs are here, the pancreas and the heart and the lungs, and I'm like, yeah, but there's 2 fucking faces attached to each other.
Yeah.
But you can tell that he's like really trying to think through it, and there's that one scene that I really like where he's talking to Clark, the guy who's like the animal holder, and he probably suspects he's the thing at that point. But he doesn't say anything. He's like, why are you asking me so many questions? He's like, I don't know.
He gives
And
it away.
I just think he's thinking so much more. It's good acting.
Yeah. No, you can tell, but I thought it was intentional that he gives it away. You can see on his face that and then he has to pretend like, oh, no, nothing. Just could be nothing. But
I don't know if I agree with that. I've watched videos before on the breakdown of like the order in which people get infected, And I think it's a pretty big consensus that this guy's just a weirdo, and that's why he's like he feels more comfortable with the dogs, and he's more of a loner. But like,
I'm
he
not saying
definitely
that
gets.
he.
He's the first infected.
I'm saying that that fucking Brimley gives it away to him, like, I'm suspicious of you, and kind of starts that.
I have one thing to say about the infection timeline.
Let's talk about this dog real quick, and you can talk about the infection timeline.
Yeah, go for it.
The fucking dog is just walking around the camp, which I'm like, okay, that's not that strange. They think they saved the dog or something. But then there's a kennel with a bunch of their dogs that they live with, and those dogs are locked up. Like, you just gonna let some random dog come in and just have a better time than your dogs? And
That
then
is true.
Brimley's like, why the fuck didn't you lock up the dogs in the kennel?
Yeah.
No, you got a great point right there. Like, just as dog owners, you know that your dog would be freaking the fuck out.
You just letting this dog just have the town? And I'm in this cage?
Imagine Pesto comes over and you just put Buddha in a cage. Like,
yeah, fuck that.
Buddha's just like, what the fuck is this?
But the dog,
working dogs versus visiting dogs. You know, he's just passing through.
It's a sit it dog.
There's the hallway scene where it shows the dog walking up to somebody, and you see the silhouette in the background.
And it goes to black.
Behind the scenes, I love that going to back too. But John Carpenter's talked about the behind the scenes, so we don't know obviously who that is. But even more deliberately, that shadow is not done by any of the actors. It's actually done by some extra or someone on production. So even if you're like, oh, is that Childs or is that fucking
it doesn't
Brimley?
match
like,
up.
You can't tell even if you tried to think.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. That's exactly what I was gonna bring up with the infection timeline, and I think that's really cool. Is like you never really know. There's people out there that love to figure out a movie while it's happening. It's impossible with this one because it's not any of them.
I have no idea about the infection timeline. I will say when Brimley, I guess I should call his real character's name, Dr. Blair, is out there in that fucking... Imagine there's a fucking alien monster amongst you and they stick you outside in a fucking igloo.
Yeah.
And he comes, he's obviously the alien when they come out there and he's like, I'd really like to come back inside now. I hear scary things out here. But imagine being out there before that. I would have been shitting myself. And why is there a noose? And why is there a noose hanging?
It's freezing cold out there. He gets locked out after he smashes everything to little tiny bits.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So he smashes everything little tiny bits. It kind of proves that he's human because he reads what's on the computer.
He goes through the computer and the computer's like 75% chance.
You're fucked.
And then like the world will be infected in 4 years. So
imagine those 4 years where you're just like, yeah, I heard George is fucked. Like you're still going to work. You're like,
take me out.
Do like social distancing or whatever. Like you got like your mask on and be like, my cousin saw a thing over at Walmart. I swear to God.
Yeah.
It'd be a few years before like people would still go to like life would continue, you know?
Really? Yeah, no, yeah, it would. For sure. We've seen that.
Getting an Uber, all of a sudden the guy would be like start shaking in tentacles. You'd be like, God,
thinging out on you.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I do think that's a general strength of the movie. It's almost a mystery whodunit, but in body horror shit. And that's what's cool. Even I've watched this movie a couple times and I always think, at what point do the people get infected? Because we all know that Blair gets infected towards obviously the very end, but we don't know at what point. I've always interpreted Blair going crazy and taking everything down as him still being human and trying to prevent this from getting out. But oh no, maybe he is infected and he's trying to make sure that everyone doesn't escape from here. He's trying to ensure his survival, which is kind of interesting because he breaks the helicopter and stuff. So, another interpretation. I don't think I agree with it, but it's interesting. There's a lot of different things that you can think about throughout the movie.
I mean, I think that is the beautiful part of this movie is that you can watch it a number of different times and see the same scenes and you can be like, well, now this kind of makes the argument that happened this way or his motivation was this.
Yeah.
It's like a Rorschach.
Going back to your noose comment, it gets a laugh out of me every single time because Kurt Russell goes up He's like, "Hey Blair, how you doing?" And he's like, "I just want to come back inside." And it's framed perfectly
Yeah,
where it's to him
Well,
and
hold on.
the noose is right next to him.
yeah.
I don't. I don't know if he. I don't know if I subscribe to the idea that he is infected at that point.
Yeah, I don't
Because
know either. Yeah.
Yeah.
the idea that he's actually telling the truth. Obviously, he does become infected because we see him do that little face grab later on. But
Yeah.
in that moment, I think what he is hearing is the tunnel being dug. I think the tunnel is coming over to him, not from him.
Okay.
So I think he's like, "Hey, dude, I'm hearing some weird shit over here," and then eventually
That would
that thing
actually, that's a
digs its
great
way over.
theory because I was going to ask, why is the door open and the tunnel is down? They came up through the floor and then went out the door after they infected him. Great,
Yeah,
great theory. The face grab. This thing's got a lot of powers and moves and combos. All right, like the dog monster. I was just watching it again. He immediately morphs into the tentacle thing. He's spraying something at the dog, squirting some liquid and covers him
Mm-hmm.
over it, which doesn't really seem to affect the dog. It's not like burning him or anything. We got this face grab. Oh, let me morph your face into me. I don't know. A lot of moves. A lot of moves on this guy. As soon as he jumps into a different body, he's just downloading all the powers immediately.
It is super interesting. Like it's does he cover his space with his hand? Is that what it is? And then his hand just starts to,
Yeah.
because the cells just merge.
yeah.
But I forgot to say this too when y'all were talking about the cowboy hat. Kurt Russell throws on this like slick ass tiny bomber to go outside in the fucking Antarctica
Yeah.
freezer. It's like, let me put this starfighter pilot jacket on and go outside in the fucking negative 100 degrees.
Yeah, like one pair of sweats and this tight bomber, and he's like, "I'm fine." Negative
Real
thought
man
this-
Kurt Russell
Yeah.
doesn't get cold.
Couple other things that I thought. So The Fly, I think, came out 5 years after this. They definitely
Mhm.
were inspired by the computer from the thing. The way he was typing in, communicating with the computer about the cells is very similar to the way Goldblum interacts in The Fly. And then I thought the spaceship was giving me big Millennium Falcon vibes, like the little hatch that was open. And I don't know because they were walking on it, but when you look at old drawings of how George Lucas had to make the Star Wars shots, it looked very similar to that. They had drawn the spaceship, yet they had Kurt Russell walking over the top of it at the same time.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jordan. That's a good point. I mean, there's so much effect shots in this whole entire movie. Obviously the practical creature effects, stationary models, but also robotics and hand puppets with the dog. Even there's a little bit of stop motion. But yeah, those matte paintings are really, really beautiful. That are done, and yeah, it feels very Star Wars-esque. It almost looks like Hoth, because it's on a ice planet.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie it's on so many different special effects, and they all really hold up. I've heard some people don't like the stop motion, but I don't have any issue with it. I think it all looks awesome.
Forgot to say this earlier when we brought up Sergeant Foley, but they introduced us to Keith David, and he's like, "I just cannot believe any of this voodoo bullshit. You believe this voodoo bullshit that's going on out here?"
Yeah, that's one thing about just the characters in general. I feel like they do a really, really good job of identifying each of the characters pretty differently. Some are more cool and straightforward. Some are a little bit more pragmatic. You have the doctors, you have the army guys, you have the older, I forget his name, like the captain who shoots the guy at the very beginning. Jesus Christ. Also, he needs to get some clippers on.
I like how, so the whole concept of paralyzed by fear, I identify with that. You think someone's coming in your house and you just lay real still. But Jory, I want to know how quick you'd be on the flamethrower trigger if you encountered this guy. Because
Good God. I mean,
the first time that they have a chance to kill the monster in the dog kennel, he's moving pretty slow. And the guy just stands there and he just looks at it for like 10 seconds. And I have another question. Like, they burn that one of the monsters up, but I guess it like separated and went out the roof at that point. Did y'all interpret it that way?
Yeah. Yep.
Right, so how quick are you?
That's
on the
how I
trigger,
always see
Jory?
it too. And that's
I'm pretty.
When I was thinking about McCready reacting to the situation really quickly and taking it seriously, one thing I noticed on this rewatch is he's already in fear of what's going on. He knows something's off, and I love that detail of he's grabbing a beer at the very beginning. This is right before the kennel scene, but he hears the kennel scene going crazy, and before he even knows what's going on, he pulls the fire alarm quickly. And I feel like that tells a lot about his character, that he takes it quickly, he reacts quickly, and he's even the one that takes charge and is like, "Yo, go get Childs to get the flamethrower." He's on point with everything. He's taking it the most seriously out of everybody.
Well,
Said
he's drinking a
military
banquet
training.
beer.
Mhm.
He's drinking a banquet beer. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, I love those. That Coors logo looks so sick. But that's George, to your point. Apparently, in the first iteration of the script or something, it was going to show some amount of backstory to him being Vietnam War vet, and it makes sense for his character and the time, and he's a helicopter pilot and stuff. But I like it that it's a little bit mysterious. We don't really know why, and we can kind of interpret that. Oh yeah, he's probably army background or something. Some form of PTSD. But apparently, that was originally in the script and kept taken out.
Yeah, to that creepy the head kind of like holding on to to your flamethrower comment. So one, we have the benefit of watching all these horror movies, and so we know got to do something about it, right? But there's two other things. One, you're frozen in fear. This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. This thing's hanging down from the ceiling. But also, it looks like someone kind of. In a way.
I mean, look at the
Your brain's trying to figure that out. You can totally see how someone could be frozen in that moment and not react.
Yeah.
To this disgusting thing.
What did they say?
It isn't Bennett. Light his ass on fire. And that fucking head falls off the table and crawls away. It almost escapes behind him. That shit was wild. That was
wild. I think, isn't that what one of them says? One of them just sees it crawl off the table, and he's like, "You gotta be shitting me."
Yeah.
And
that's such a hilarious thing to say.
Even in that point, like Jory said, they were stuck, and they almost let it crawl away because they're so shocked.
That's just a hilarious thing to say, though. Imagine one of us, we're all hanging out, and one of our heads pops off, and it's a spider and runs away. And Jory's just like, "You gotta be shitting me."
It's a spider head.
Yeah, but of all the words you could choose, it's just like you said it like you forgot your keys. You're like, "You gotta be shitting me."
Yeah.
When we were talking about Dr. Blair being left out in the igloo, I forgot to say this. Kurt Russell just gives him a bottle of Smirnoff and leaves it on the table and's like, "Trust in the Lord." Leaves him out there.
Trust in the Lord.
There's a lot of cool one-liners in this movie. It's dope. I mean, Kurt Russell.
Is Blair the one who is? I think we were debating this. Who it's a really cool scene when you see someone run away from the chopper, and there's this tarp now covering it, and he goes in there and he realizes all these parts are gone. We kind of debated on who is building the ship, so I guess it's not Blair with our theory. But
I think Blair becomes the one who helps build the ship, but I don't think he's infected in that moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah. To me, when I've always watched it, Blair's always been human for the most part, especially when he starts freaking out, and then he gets placed in the isolation, and at some point, the creature comes back and infects him. Speaking of the creatures getting infected, one thing I really love is the noise that the creature makes. It makes a lot of different noises, but the one that always sticks out to me is when Bennings is infected. He's the kind of bald doctor, and he obviously runs out because he's halfway through transformation. And then everyone surrounds him, and he just opens up his mouth, and it's a weird, uncanny scream. It's so unsettling.
Yeah.
And then I love the detail too. He's mostly human because he's halfway transformed, but his arm is just huge and monster-esque. It's really cool and unsettling. I just love that scene. That scene's awesome.
That scene is great.
Go ahead.
What I want to say with the thing. What are we thinking? Are we thinking that it has a hive mind? Because we know that each individual cell is its own animal. Each little drop of blood is its own thing. So, and I mean, you could get weird and be like, "Yeah, well, we're full of bacteria. We have lots of stuff in us," but we can't control it. If I was the thing, I could have my little head running around distracting you while my body's over here building a spaceship.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. Yeah.
So is it a hive mind, or is it just is each one of those kind of fuck you? I'm in it for me. Like each little blood.
You do see that they have a common goal, which is to take over all the
I feel like their
entities.
goal is to
They don't,
survive.
for
That's all they
sure,
want.
yeah, because under the current scenario they're in, they're like everything's a threat to them. The environment, they can't like, this is a hostile environment in Antarctica. The only safe environment is around people that if they knew what it was, they would want to kill it. Um, and so it, tries to go and infect people. I'm open to disagreement on this. I don't know that there's necessarily a hive mind that kind of shows itself. They do all act in a similar way. You would imagine that the quote different pieces recognize that they are also part of the thing.
Family, like a family dynamic where it's like, oh, this you're producing offspring,
Yeah.
and it's like, we're a pack. We're gonna fight with each other.
You can certainly make the argument either way, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think again, that is what is that's what the whole movie is about, right? You don't know, right? Like, these could offshoot in so many different ways, like so many different things could be true, but they're left for you to try to like figure out yourself.
I also like the detail. Like, I'm in agreement, Jory, is like, we don't know what the reason is, what's the backstory. I've always seen it more of as a hive mind operating with the same goal, just in different body parts. But I do like the detail. It kind of hits you afterwards that we don't know what the goal is, but in a weird way, you can kind of feel bad for the creature because literally it crash lands and the only thing it's trying to do is survive and honestly try to leave. It's trying to get out. So is it actually malicious, or is it just acting scared like an animal would and only attacking when it feels threatened and it's trying to get out of here? And I think that's kind of the appeal of why this movie has lasted so long and so much appreciated, because there's so many interpretations you could do, and you kind of pick up something different every time.
One thing they don't do in this movie is there's not a scientist there who's like, we got to preserve and study it. And they're all like, fuck this shit.
Get out of here.
And in the prequel,
It's just the closest.
there's a guy who like, brings them there. Like, he doesn't care about the humans at all. He wants to, preserve this and take it back. And in the 1951, there's actually the doctor there is like, is what you're saying, Alan. He's like, we need to try to communicate with it.
Yeah.
It thinks it's being attacked. It's just a scared animal. And it's just kind of like a big Frankenstein looking motherfucker in the 1951 one. So it's not, it's not have tentacles shit, but I don't know. That's exactly how he was describing it. But then later.
You know what else? You know what else are animals? It's fucking wasps and snakes.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think this thing is benevolent. You know what I mean?
There's a difference between benevolence and malevolence. There's an area in between that.
What I was going to get at is, do you guys think that was its spaceship? Because I'm getting the vibe that an alien-like scenario went down on that ship. I think whoever was piloting it and whatever else, they picked up the thing to study it. And the thing said, haha, you motherfuckers. And then did what he does, runs around, assimilates everyone. And they were like, oh, shit, I'm getting... And that's why they crash landed.
Damn, I've never considered that. That's actually kind of a cool thought. I'm going to write that down.
It begs the question. I'm like, does the thing have its own form? Like its own true form?
Mm-hmm.
Because I imagine if it assimilated, let's say 4 years pass, it wins, it assimilates all of Earth. I wonder at the end of the day, they'd be like, well, we can stop looking like this now. And then they just turn into seeds or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
that is
do they have like a baseline?
An instance where you see any base of it. It's literally just takes forms over and over again. And I love the detail too for the dog kennel scene. Transforms like 3 different times throughout that. The dog head opening up and then the weird little dog puppet, and then it grows those 2 big arms. But I love that there's one detail where as it's transforming, it has a whole bunch of eyes on it, and the eyes are just randomly blinking and stuff. It's like, it's just nasty. It's weird.
I was ready for the blood test because I just watched the prequel, but I feel like it took them pretty long to get to the point of like, let's try to figure this out. And then the blood being fucked up, that was pretty cool. And that starts the whole which one of you motherfuckers is the monster? And they start
Yep.
freaking out. I don't know when this happens, but again, Sergeant Foley, he wants to take the flamethrower, and they're like, all right, buddy, we need someone a little more even tempered. You're not getting the flamethrower yet.
Yeah.
But then I don't remember when Kurt Russell gets trapped outside. I love how they have to walk along the line because the snowstorm's so bad. The first movie I saw that in actually was another Kurt Russell movie, was Hateful Eight, when they walk the line out to that shed. But now he's trapped outside and they think he's the monster, and he has to fucking the supply window once they hear him shatter it, and he's just like, give me the fucking dynamite, give me the flare, I'm gonna blow these motherfuckers up if they try to kill me.
Yeah, because I think it's who is it? It's like there's three guys that go out there with him. Niles, or I don't
Cook.
Niles, whatever it is. The cook, yeah. And he found the torn clothes before that were torn up and said McCready on it. Which to me, right, if I'm him, I'm like, all right, McCready's fucked. They got him.
We're over here bitching about them taking too long to act on stuff. Good on him.
Yeah. But they do such a good job of leaving it ambiguous for the rest of the time, because he continues to do things, right? And don't they test his blood as well?
Yeah.
At some point, do they not? Yeah.
Dude,
so hi Jordan.
Oh hell.
No.
Oh hell no. Oh hell.
Oh, there it is.
No.
Okay, all right.
Hell yeah. Great mustache. Jesus Christ. Hateful Eight's
Man,
great.
dude.
I gotta show this one.
You think it's all natural?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you saw the beard and the thing.
You don't think he's not getting any fluffers for the mustache? Look at that thing. Good God.
Can you see him in the China one now? Okay, my screen is frozen as fuck. I hope I don't fall out.
There you go. Jordan, one detail, because you brought up the Hateful Eight. Really interesting, going back a little bit, but obviously directed by John Carpenter. John Carpenter usually does the score for a lot of his movies, Halloween, Big Trouble in Little China, and all that. Most of the time it's like synth esque, very like 80s strong style, a little bit of rock and roll too. But this, the Thing, was actually done by Ennio Morricone, who most famously did a lot of the spaghetti westerns, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, all the famous ones. And so it's a little bit different. So the score for this is more orchestral, except for like main theme. The main theme sounds a little bit more like a John Carpenter when it opens up, the dun 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 dun, like that one. But a lot of the scenes with the creature, it has like more like orchestral violin, so it's a little bit more of like that spaghetti western sound. But one thing, because you brought up the Hateful Eight, pretty interesting. A lot of the unused music for The Thing that was used in the Hateful Eight, because it's kind of similar aesthetic. Obviously, like Frozen, isolation, everyone's kind of against each other. And so the unused music for that was used for Hateful Eight.
Nice. That is pretty cool. That is a fun fact.
I just now realized that my background was gone.
No.
It just went away as soon as you transferred it back.
Beautiful mirror.
Okay. What about that guy who is
Can you not get it back while we're recording?
No, I'd have to stop recording and start it over. What about the dude that's out there by himself? I can't remember his name, but they find him and he's just dead in the snow. And he was walking around with the flare, and they're like, maybe he burned himself up before it got him.
Yeah, who was that?
I think that was one of the other doctors or biologists. I think that's the guy with the glasses. He's always the one that I forget that dies really early on. Interesting detail though. Like, again, kind of creepy, scary.
Why do these? I know it's because it's a movie and they got to create the drama, but everyone is so resistant to getting tested, and they know that they're not the Thing, or are they
AIDS.
like? Yeah, he's like, you ain't tying me. You have to kill me to tie me up.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I like my AIDS allegories with a sci-fi twist.
Yeah. Yeah. So
sharing needles.
Another thing is one of the doctors like,
anyone could have it.
Yeah, the doctor's like, it only takes like a piece of bacteria. We got to prepare our own food and eat out of cans. I didn't even think about, the Thing drizzling a little blood into your lima beans.
Yeah, I mean, well, the insinuation that like each individual cell is its own thing. It's a thing, So like one drop of blood, like one blood cell can like just immediately, just have as much damage as the thing, putting his hand over your mouth and merging with you. It's just going to take a little bit longer to replicate, but yeah, that's the danger, right? I don't know, right? Are they sharing needles? Like, are they putting the same needle into somebody else's arm? That would be a concern for me. I'll just cut my hand, give you the blood that way.
Oh no, the great question, because the guy fucking they test the guy that everyone thinks is the thing. He just takes the blade, wipes it on his jeans. Just wipes the blood off on his jeans. No disinfectant, cuts his hand right up.
These old school men.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that character's Windows, like he's so like off the walls. He's so crazy just in general. But the blood scene is cool just in general from a tense. I think I like the pacing of this movie just in general. But from when they suspect it's McCready breaks into the storage place with the flamethrower and the bomb. He's like, I'll blow this whole fucking place up if you listen to me. I feel like the pacing really kicks off from there, because it's like that scene, it goes to the defibrillator scene, which is really tense and a whole bunch of crazy shit happens. And then right after that is the blood test scene. I love that back to back to back. So many things happen. I feel like it really picks up at that point.
And then the blood jumps out of the vial, so they know who it is. And this dude takes a pretty long time to turn into a monster. And Kurt Russell's flamethrower malfunctions. The other guy just stands there for like a minute and gets killed.
Yeah.
And whatever, they fight this thing, they kill it, and then they are like, all right, let's go test Blair. They split up again. And I'm like, stop fucking splitting up. What are you doing? Why would you leave two people inside?
Yeah.
That you're not going to know if they're the monster when you come back.
It's the classic trope, right? In a horror movie.
Yeah.
Since Scooby-Doo, right? All right,
yes,
gang,
I almost said that.
Divide and conquer, right? Fred's like, Daphne and Velma and I are going to go upstairs. You guys go on down. You guys go down to the basement, check it out.
We're going to explore the bedroom.
Yeah.
Jordan, do you have any?
Dog.
Jordan, do you have any pictures of the blood test scene? Yeah. One detail that I really like, Jordan, you brought up a good point when you were. People are so resistant to even doing it. One, I think one reason is probably the resistance is they're scared to know the truth about, like, maybe I am infected. I don't even know.
Yeah, maybe I am.
Yeah, or it's still a theory at the end of the day on what McCready's doing. He's flying off the seat of his pants. And yeah, maybe he doesn't. Again, the allegory.
It is the 80s.
But yeah, I think that's why everyone's so resistant. It's because it's like, one, they don't want to be found out if they are. It's like a scary thought. And two, they don't want to be accused of being anything. I think it goes back to the AIDS allegory. Yeah, but super cool. Just idea.
I'm not gay.
Do it
I'm in Antarctica with all these men. I'm not gay.
Yeah.
Ew, I'm not gay.
Ew, dude. I don't take it.
I think there's also a splash of a communist, like, Red Scare, like, who's a commie?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of the whole thing, right? Is like,
holy shit,
like,
dude! I wish I could show. I don't think this GIF is gonna work, but this is a hilarious GIF.
That's a what?
To you.
It's not what it's. That's not what.
That's not it.
Yes, thank you.
It's not it. Yeah, I don't.
You hear that?
Not it, dude.
I've had this debate.
I get the guy who created it calls it GIF, but
he's wrong.
That is literally how.
I understand that. I understand but that's the only argument. That's the only argument. And it's such a weak argument.
Yeah, it's an acronym. What's an acronym for? What's
an acronym?
It's graphic.
It's graphical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Graphic. What? Something
file. Yeah.
What? Yes. But the first word is graphic. It
Mm-hmm.
starts with a G.
Mm-hmm.
It's not GIF.
Okay.
Graphics interchange format. That's where we go. Yeah.
GIF.
Go and
GIF.
keep going
GIF.
on the AIDS allegory and the blood just in general. Like, what were you thinking about when you were watching it?
My first thought. This is definitely an allegory for AIDS and
the
Red Scare.
Well,
but
let me add. Do you think it was purposeful? I guess that it was blood, because it's interesting
based on the time frame.
Yeah.
Based
It's
on the time frame when this movie came out, that it just makes way too much sense.
yeah.
It's
We had
really
the AIDS
funny if
epidemic.
here's the question.
Mhm.
Like at this point, they don't know what causes AIDS. And that's why I'm like, that's why they're like, I'm not gay. You know, everyone that has AIDS is gay. But when the guy wipes the blood on his pants, now we know that that could transfer it to you. But I don't know in 1982 if they knew you could just get it from a cut on your hand. So that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, well, who was it? Oh my God, Princess Diana, right? You know, she was big famous for hugging the guy with AIDS and stuff at the time, right? You don't want to. Nobody wanted to
Yeah.
be around, touch anybody with AIDS. So, yeah, I mean, I think that that's a really good point, Sam. That you can't look over the fact that AIDS was a big topic around this time.
I mean, even 10 years after this, Magic Johnson had to stop playing basketball for a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
they definitely don't know much about it at this point.
Yeah. One piece I'll say about the blood test scene that I always really appreciate is, I mean, the pacing of it's awesome. So, you know, he has that speech towards the beginning that's really cool, and he like describes what the reason behind it. But the pacing of it's really nice. There's one shot, well, technically two shots, where obviously he's holding the petri dish kind of like this, and you can see it's a fake hand that it's in frame like this, and obviously like the creature comes out of it when the thing is exposed. But one thing that's cool is that they use that exact same fake hand twice. They use it once, it's in frame. He touches it for somebody who's not the thing, and then we see that same frame again, and this time it jumps out. And so it kind of trains your brain to see that, because if it was the first time you see like the fake hand, then you're obviously going to be, oh, now it's fake. We know it's only going to jump out because something's different. And then the second time, it's more of like a jump scare.
That's
Yeah.
clever.
We did Jaws recently, and I said that the little head popping out scene was the scariest part for me.
Mhm.
The testing of the blood jumping out like that was by far the big jump scare for me.
Yeah,
in
It
this
got
movie. That
me. It
scared
got
the
me
shit
when I
out of
watched it
me.
yesterday.
Yeah, I love the sound that it makes too. It's a screech. It's like
Wow.
when it comes out. Yeah. It's
So
and it's pure chaos right when that happens, because everyone knows he's the thing. I love the detail that he's also tied down to the couch, and there's two people next to him. They're both screaming. Yeah, Kurt Russell's trying to get his flamethrower to work. It's not working. Windows is like just standing there. Is like, do something, do something. Like, it's so chaotic. It's
yeah,
awesome. And I love.
yeah,
What is inconsistent with what you were describing about Kurt Russell just pulling the fire alarm and always acting is he sits there trying to get his flamethrower to work for a long time.
Yeah.
And that was very effective in the scene. I'm happy it played out that way, but like he
Yeah.
should have gone in to do something else in all
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah, that is the one movie thing that kind of takes me out, but it's still tense
Oh,
just
it's
in
fine.
general. I do love each time they go back to I forget the guy's name, that's the thing at that point. But each time it cuts back to him, it's almost like a different transformation. So like his eyes start bubbling and his face starts changing, and then blood starts dripping out. I think it's a reverse shot of the blood dripping off of him, and obviously like his head opens up, like really quick succession of how quickly this thing is changing. And it's terrifying because you're fucking right next to it.
So he runs out of the room before they can kill him and he burns him up, and he's outside. Kurt Russell throws the dynamite and blows it up. But
just a stick though.
but there's little
You just
pieces
put the stick
everywhere
in.
now. How can they be sure that they killed
That's
it?
a really
Like
good
now
point.
there's 1,000 little the things
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Hindsight 2020 on that one.
Jordan, you're 100% right. Is they're just doing what they think is the fastest thing. I mean, they do know like you can probably burn it because they saw the Norwegians with a whole bunch of gasoline trying to burn it. So like that's their only indication that like, oh, maybe we can kill this thing by burning it. But other than that, it's just an idea. And you're right too. I always think about that when he blows it up. It's like, is this thing actually dead, or are they just making it worse? One detail I love when Kurt Russell throws the dynamite. Kurt Russell has said this in the commentary before, and I think another interview. He says, "I was surprised how quickly the dynamite blew up." So he like throws it and immediately, and if you look at his reaction in that scene, he just like immediately turns. Yeah, it's really funny.
They test Clark's blood also.
Yeah.
Who like they had been, I think Blair said keep an eye on Clark. Somebody else is like everybody's kind of aware that, but I think somebody here mentioned that he was just an odd guy. He's just a little bit different. He's
Yeah.
the guy that hangs out with the dogs. There was every
Yeah.
reason to suspect that he was infected. But then they find out that right when they test his blood that he was humid, and that adds to this feeling
Well-
of you can't trust anything. Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that
No,
detail.
there's one point where they walk out to kill the monster or something, and they have 2 more tests to do.
Mhm.
And Michaela was like, "They got old blood. Did they redraw the blood? I don't know. I didn't pick that up, but she said that."
Now,
I do
this
like that detail. Yeah, go for it.
I was going to say this is most certainly not what they were doing. However, if we're going to keep reinforcing this AIDS theory, it'd be like suspecting like clearly it'd be like thinking like, oh, the gay guy or something, right? That's the person who has AIDS. The weirdo, that's the person who's the thing. But then it's like, nope, it could be anybody. It could be Magic
Yeah.
Johnson.
Also,
it could be you.
Also, like, what a guy to have AIDS. The guy with the Magic Johnson.
He had the magic.
Dude, it was too powerful.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, have you seen that meme? Have you seen that meme of Magic Johnson where it's like him with a bunch of girls on the beach, and someone commented, they're like, "This had to be the day."
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that one exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, he used to have some of the ball boys.
This had to be.
They would go around during the game and pick out a few of the hottest girls and be like, "Do you want to fuck him in the shower?" And they'd bring him back into the showers, and he would literally sleep with them and then step out of the shower with the towel around his waist and do interviews with reporters.
That's
was
ridiculous.
Dude was a freak.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Certified
Well,
freak.
that's how you get AIDS. That's how you get AIDS right there.
That is
fellas.
how you get AIDS.
Fast and loose.
All right. Anything else that I missed that y'all want to talk about before we go into the
one
fight?
One more on the blood test scene. Another directorial thing. I guess it goes into the cinematography too. You'll notice that all of the people in that blood test scene that are not the thing, they all have a really small eyelight in their pupil that was done on purpose. John Carpenter told Dean Cundy, who's the DP for this, to add a little eyelight for all of the people who aren't the thing. And the guy that is the thing, he has like none of that eyelight. So his eyes are completely black and sunken. So it's a small detail that your brain might catch on, that there's something off about him every time it cuts to him. And that's the only time it's done is in that scene. It's not done anywhere else. But yeah, it's another small indication that something's off with this guy, and obviously it pays off at the end of the scene.
So Blair stole the parts out of the heli. He's building the ship in the tunnel. Tunnel reveal scene is pretty crazy. To y'all's point, he's immediately like, "We're not getting out of here. Now we got to make sure we got to kill this shit."
I'm flipping the fucking board. Big explosion.
Yeah, I'm flipping the board. And they talk about, he's cut the generator. He's trying to freeze us to death. Just what do we think happened in the end? Foley and Russell survive. We do get a rare black man survives in the 80s horror movie here.
Yeah.
And they were 2 of the last 3, actually. Both of them made it until the very end. The one guy just walks off by himself and gets killed. You make it this far, I feel like you would have learned, don't walk off by yourself. But they're laying there in the snow together. Foley starts drinking the bottle of brandy they have, and camp's burning. He's like, it's going to run out soon. Fade to black.
Yeah.
Did they survive?
It's purposely ambiguous. That's the way to do it, and that's the way to give your audience with a creepy feeling. There was a couple different potential alternate endings. One of them being that I think like both turn into the thing. That was one thing, and then there was another one where they were picked up by a helicopter, and then like it's obvious that they're both not the thing. But this was actually suggested by Kurt Russell, saying like, I think we should leave it ambiguous, and then John Carpenter was like, yeah, that's the way to go. To me, I've always interpreted like gut feeling is that they aren't both the thing, But however, on this most recent rewatch, I'm like, there's no way that the child, because he said, "Hey, child, where were you?" And he says, "Oh, I saw Blair running and I followed him, and then I got lost in the snow." And that sounds like a bullshit story. That sounds not real to me. On this most recent rewatch, if gun to my head, like what's the real ending? I feel like Childs is the thing at that point. There's a lot of different interpretations, and some people say, yeah, we don't see the ring light thing in his eye. We can't see his breath, so that means he's the thing. McCready hands him the bottle, and it's actually a Molotov cocktail, and that's the test. So he drinks it, and he doesn't react because there's like gasoline in it. I think all of those interpretations
I do like that theory.
I think they're fine, but none of them have connected with me. But I think on this most recent rewatch, something's off, which I like. Every time I watch it, I kind of
in the prequel, the thing can't replicate inorganic material. So at the end, the girl can tell the guy is the thing because he's missing his earring.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch that in this movie because I didn't know that actually connected.
Did they survive? Is that what you're asking? No, I don't think so. I just want to believe that, right?
Like whether one of them's the thing, it's like they're gonna freeze to death, right? Like no one's coming to get them.
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah, I do think so. We know that McCree is not at this point, right? Why would it fight itself?
Yeah,
we just watched a whole scene of him trying to blow it up. I kind of had like a weird thing with Childs being in it because the thing has recognized that it's not getting out of this right now. This whole place is to shit. It's gonna die, so might as well just hang, which is kind of a weird way to put it. But if it is, and it's still looking to assimilate, right? Walking up to him that way when he's like down and out is kind of like a weird approach for the thing, the way that we've watched it interact, or like kind of like, I guess, glean what its goals are. It's a weird way for it to act, which kind of lends itself to Childs being a human.
I think that's why movies, part of why they last so long, it's because every time it comes up, you can go, well, he made the shot and they clearly won. It's like now you can talk about what happened again. We never saw the thing use a weapon in the movie, right? It was always using itself. But Foley walks up and he's got the flamethrower pointed right at him. Like if he was the thing, he could just flamethrower him, right?
Maybe he does.
Yeah, wouldn't he?
Maybe he does afterwards,
Yeah. But why even wait? He's like, well, I'll just hang out with him for the next 20 hours until he freezes to death. But then you're risking your life, whatever.
Yeah, I really do like the Molotov cocktail theory. It's like the test for Childs. So he's sitting there because we see him earlier. He's been making these Molotov cocktails, so it's full of gasoline. Then he sits down. He's like, "Where are you at, Childs?" All suspicious, all that. Then he hands him. He's like, "Here, drink this." And the thing is just like, "Oh, delicious." And like drinks it because it's trying to like act like everything's cool, and that's when we see him kind of laugh, and he's like, But I also like the idea that Childs, let's just say he's just sitting there drinking liquor. Childs is the thing. All he has to do is play the waiting game. That's why he's not immediately attacking him. He's like, I fucking won. I'm going to freeze to death. They're going to thaw me out again. And then I'm just going to start over. As soon as people come to rescue this camp in X amount of time, I'm going to get thawed out and I'm going to fuck shit up again. I've won.
I hear you. And that's what villains do because they're stupid. But you should eliminate the risk here of Kurt Russell just being like, yeah, I'm going to kill you. We're going to die anyway. I'm just going to kill you.
That could
save the
happen
world
right after. You know what I mean? Like we only see like a little interaction.
Yeah.
If that were an option, like why wouldn't it have just escaped the first opportunity it had? Why wouldn't it just go outside as like, one of the first, the people and then just go wait to freeze somewhere? Why does everyone here need to be eliminated first before I can go somewhere to go survive? This child walks right back up to him. And if he is the thing, right, like Jordan just said, you've just put yourself into this scenario where you've given yourself risk, giving the team another opportunity right there at the end of the game when you've got it sealed up.
Yep.
I feel like it depends on.
You might have to explain that to Sam because Sam's not a sports guy. But
I feel like it depends.
There's a reason you don't get a touchdown. You just stop. right there at the one.
Wait, I think that depends on what its goal is, because we keep thinking that its goal is like total assimilation, but that's just based on the
Yeah.
computer program that he
Yeah.
ran. I think its goal is
Yeah.
to get the fuck off of Earth. Like
Yeah.
it's like once the
Well, then it's
camp
got to
got
take Earth over so it can build a fucking spaceship capable of getting out.
It's
well,
like
it
that
was
Rick and
pretty
Morty
close.
episode.
It's pretty close to getting out though.
You think that little tiny ass saucer that's like as big as a poker table can fly through the fucking atmosphere and not burn up? Maybe it can fly to like Africa, but I don't think it's going through I don't think it's going through space.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
a
it could
fucking
go through
it's a
space.
helicopter and a tractor.
It is made of helicopter parts.
I think it could go through space based on like.
It's just about getting out of
I
the
get it.
atmosphere.
I
Based
get
Once
on,
it.
you get
based
out.
on
I
all
get-
the other helicopters that fly through space, yeah, it definitely can.
Slice it up.
Atmosphere gets a little thin at a point.
I mean,
All right.
I
Okay.
don't see why not, but
Jordan, I'm gonna bring up two things. One thing, I haven't seen all of John Carpenter's movies. I've seen a lot. But yeah, this ranks as probably like his best one, and this is his personal favorite. I think he's gone on record on saying it. But the lightning in the bottle, everything works really, really well. Like the actors, and the ensemble cast, the score is iconic. The writing is great. The DP, like I said before, it's Dean Cundy, who mainly worked with John Carpenter at the beginning of his career, and then he went on to do a whole bunch of stuff. Did Back to the Future with Robert Zemeckis, Jurassic Park with Steven Spielberg. So like crazy stuff. Really, really talented. One thing I want to talk about with how the movie looks. I mean, it's obviously really well lit. There's a couple like obviously like dark hallway scenes, but for the most part, you can see everything super clearly. I love the lighting and the color. Almost all the time there's like those blue lights that are outside, and there's a couple scenes where like people are like bathed in blue. I think it's really moody and atmospheric, and the contrast I really like is with the flares. They're red, but with the contrast with the blue, it almost looks purple. Like there's really like beautiful colors throughout this whole movie. And I know it was filmed on anamorphic lens, so you can see especially with the flares, every time there's like really beautiful, almost like lens flares that are coming off of the actual flares. Yeah, just a gorgeous looking movie. I think that's something that I always take away as like, yeah, it's just gorgeous to look at. The score works super well. The ending is perfect. Pacing is awesome. This is one of my favorite John Carpenter movies. Yeah, I think everything works. Maybe not my favorite. I'm actually wearing, shout out real quick, wearing I don't think you can see it, a Halloween shirt right now.
Okay.
Nice.
Because real quick, I actually did go see. Literally saw John Carpenter a couple weeks ago.
Hell yeah.
I went up to New York. He actually still does music nowadays. He did the music for a lot of his movies, but he makes his own music. It's like 80s synth rock shit. And he does the concert that I went to. He played like a lot of his like famous themes, the Halloween
Nice.
theme and Big Trouble in Little China, all that. So yeah, he's awesome. I love John Carpenter a lot. Think he's gonna go down as like one of the best. He's literally like the horror master. Yeah, it's just awesome. So this movie ranks really high for me. And then I think the other thing I wanted to bring up, which I wanted to ask you guys, when this movie came out, it was critically panned, and it was a box office failure. So there was something that like didn't click with the audience when it came out. Some people say that it was a really packed summer. This movie came out in June or July, but it was the summer of '82. A lot of famous movies came out. E.T., Rocky III. Yeah, it was a really packed like year in general for movies. So like that might be a reason, but critically it was like panned by a lot of people. People said it was like a gross out, dumb movie that none of the characters stand out, and it's just like, yeah, just not a strong movie just in general. Famously, Roger Ebert was like, "This is a gross out movie. It sucks. Don't go watch it."
I was gonna ask, is it like Kurt Russell became a star later, but he signed a 10-year deal with Disney in 1966, so he's a star in the 70s. That's not why this doesn't work. But
fun fact: Walt Disney's last written words ever were, Kurt Russell. And then he died on his deathbed.
I did not know
Really?
Yeah, because he's like a Disney star.
that. Well, he should have been. They should have given him a bigger place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. Killed him off.
Hey,
to death.
One-off villain in the second Guardians of the Galaxy. If that was Walt Disney's last words, wow.
Yeah. I mean, to your question, Alan, I think that it's a combination of things, but like if I were to point at one, the movie is the effects, right? The body horror is pretty intense for the time period. For like, for like, I mean, you're not going to appeal to everybody on this.
Well,
It's not going to appeal
that
to
might be
everybody.
a sign.
Take it
And,
away.
All
then,
right.
and then he wrote the words Kurt Russell and disappeared.
That would have been awesome if he said that.
All right. Well, good to see you, Alan. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. I was there very briefly. I was literally there for a day.
Right.
Got disconnected.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay.
9.5 out of 10. Love it.
9.5.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's a great movie.
I mean, yeah, I'm right there with you. What, Sam?
Kurt Russell. He wrote it down. I don't think he could speak
Okay.
at the time.
No, I think
Okay.
I think he said Kurt Russell, and then right afterwards he opened up his mouth, and then it did the scream that the thing does. He goes,
Nice.
All right. Well, that was fun. I gotta go, but I'll text y'all. So,
All right. See you guys.
Peace.
Later.